Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly review to Sean and Serak. I am Sean Keenan Torres in here. And of course, I am joined along with
It's your boy Serak and Mike. How we doing this afternoon?
pretty good, man. Pretty good. How is things going with you? How was your weekend? How was life?
Man, oh man. Well, life is good. I say life is great. This weekend was good for, I guess you could say, Bucks fans, which I am. Well, how do you say this? If
You're
this
an
is not my this is
adopted.
not my home team. Obviously, the Bucks are not my home team, but they are my home team. So if my original team doesn't win or make it or do anything, then I kind of go over to the other side, which is the Bucks. That's my number two because I live here and I got to deal with it. So yeah,
Which
we
means
go into the
which means you
championship.
vote for him. Which means you go for him for a lot because let's remind our audience that you are a Lions fan, and we all know,
Totally, I know.
their record.
I'm a Lions fan,
Just
but I'm happy to see the Packers lose. I'm happy to see our competition lose, right? Because I don't even think the Lions didn't even they played the Bucks this year. No, I don't think
no, we would have
so.
known. We would have known. You
Yeah,
you would
I
have
would have
known.
known. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Maybe next year. But yeah, man. It was crazy, man. Sunday was I
Yeah.
I didn't expect it. I'm sure, you know.
Sunday was crazy. I will agree with you there. I mean, that was unexpected. Uh it wasn't even a last minute play. That was just an
Yeah,
unexpected game total. You
that was a
know,
that was a good. I mean, obviously Brady didn't play perfect. He threw a couple of interceptions, but that was a very, impressive win, especially against the Packers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is
yeah,
he's,
he
the MVP, right? Or
yeah,
projected to
yeah.
be the MVP.
Projected to be MVP. I mean, I told everyone, including on the show, I said I think Green Bay's got it. I think Green Bay. I thought it was going to be Green Bay and the Chiefs going at it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Not again, but going at it. I end up being wrong, of course, but that's just. I mean, when you looked at Rodgers' season compared to
Right.
anyone else's season, I mean, he was bossed off
Right.
until what I think the game right before the playoffs.
Hmm.
He kind of faltered a little bit. Didn't have the greatest of games compared to his other games this season, but
Right.
they still squeaked by. But you had it come up in the yeah. I mean,
Hey, listen, if you
they went up to the. I mean, it was two. That was a temperature
it was
two.
freezing. It's too cold. I don't even know why they play when the playoffs start. They should just have they should do like the NBA bubble where they just move all the teams to the warmer
South.
climate, right? And they just
Yeah.
have like temporary stadiums they play in because I don't, man. And it's one thing that it was freezing. It's another thing that it can only be so many fans there. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
they're playing in the cold. It's maybe like 20 people there. Just they got the fake crowd noise coming through the speakers, like like it's
uh
packed. Do you think that makes a difference? I was arguing with somebody yesterday about
I
home field advantage.
I think okay, so let's take in the whole home field advantage. We all know that during a normal season, that 12th man, the crowd, really comes into play. Really
Right.
comes into play, especially in stadiums like Seattle,
Yep.
uh, in stadiums, Kansas City stadiums that are more of a bowl.
Right.
You know, that
It,
crowd
it
noise
feels like you're
really,
playing it against more people.
yeah,
You
yeah,
played a
because
team, and now you playing the fans.
you can't hear anything. You cannot hear
Right.
anything.
Right.
Versus now you have this season where there's no at the beginning of the season there was no fans in the stands at all.
Right.
All you had
Right.
was those fake cutouts, and then of course like
Practice.
it's
Yeah, it was so weird watching
yeah.
they were I remember they were doing the hard knocks for the Rams in their new stadium, the new
Oh
SoFi
yeah.
stadium, and it was just empty. Like they're like it's like they had to they had to run throughs
Yeah.
like it was a real game and it was people there, and even like the sound bites from like the stadium was still like make some noise, and it's like
The
nobody
whole
even
thing, the whole thing was
yeah,
going.
but,
I wonder if they bring in announcers just for practice. Say, and Smith gets that first down.
yeah, like I
I'm
don't even
just
know why
saying.
do the announcers have to go to the game. I mean, nobody else is there besides the players
The
and the
announcers go to the
staff.
games. The announcers have to go to the game.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but okay, I
Okay,
get the
now
on
there's
field
different.
interview.
There's different announcers. So you got the announcers that we all watch on TV, and then of course you have the in not in game, but in the in
Like the
stadium
reports and
announcers.
stuff. Yeah. That's like I know what you're talking about. But
So yeah,
do you think? Okay, so say if everything was back to normal, right? Do you think and say Brady does come to Tampa regardless, do you think they would still be in this position if
no,
there were fans? No, I don't think so
no,
either.
I don't think so
Too much
because
pressure.
let's go back to Rodgers. Okay, Rodgers played really well this season, but could you
Right.
imagine having all those cheeseheads and the fans in that blistering cold instead of because like
Throwing
to
shit at you.
me and when I played football, which of course was many years ago, and where I
Many,
played
many.
in South Carolina, when it would get cold, you felt the cold when you initially walked down to the field, but once the game started going and the crowd started getting involved,
Right.
that cold goes away. When you
Right.
don't have a crowd, the things that you normally ignore are now front and center.
Yeah.
Because
Like when
yeah,
you're
they
like it's like the chant sometimes, like the defense chant, right? Like say if you losing and there's a big third down coming up or big play that whatever it may be, like you got the crowd roaring, you got whether they cheering defense or
yeah
first down, but when you losing and you at home, it's just quiet. All you hear is Tom Brady just yelling out audibles.
yeah. That's all you hear is Omaha. Oh no, that's paid, but that's all you hear.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
I mean,
I
granted,
never
I have like hearing a lot more field noise this season because you get to hear a
right.
lot of different things.
I'm like shut the I'm like, oh shit, are you
Yeah,
supposed to say that?
there were a lot of that.
You know, you
There
can
was a
hear
lot.
someone's
Oh, there
background
was a lot.
noise.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. But the stadium though. I mean, when you have those people there,
Mhm.
it just gets you going.
Gets you
It's
going.
just
Yeah, momentum.
it get
Momentum is a real thing.
yeah,
You know,
it
you
really is.
can't.
Because I mean, go back to the Packers game. The game was close.
Yeah.
So in that last fourth quarter, last half of that fourth quarter,
Hmm.
when they had 4 minutes left,
Hmm.
and Rogers threw an interception. I don't think he would have thrown an interception because you would
No.
not have had the defensive players as concentrating enough because instead of them paying attention to the player, they now have to pay attention to the player and drown out the noise in their head
Yeah,
from
I
the
think that's a
crowd.
big one. Is drowning out like I don't know. It's like so if you losing, if you kind of like on defense and say you at a away game, your team is losing, like you're gonna glance at the crowd and you
Yeah,
just see the trash talking, the noise, the everything. It's distracting. But when it's just like nobody there and it's like practice pretty much. It's you're going through
that's it. That's
practice.
all it's
You can
practice.
hear better. You can hear changes in play calls or your teammates better. So yeah, man, I think if the fans were allowed, it'd be a different story. But then again, it's just like, you know, everybody was still on an equal playing field. And when it comes down to it, man, Brady's the GOAT. And speaking of Brady, I think this dude is
I
like eating
can't I
babies or
can't I
something.
cannot say he's the GOAT. Granted, he
What?
does have granted, he does have the most rings. I will give him that. I'm a big Joe Montana
You don't
fan.
think he's
I
the
think I
GOAT?
think I think Joe Montana to me, I think Joe Montana is the GOAT. That's just me.
Oh,
Joe Montana
man.
had a great supporting cast. He did the 5 rings first. I mean, Joe
Oh,
Montana did it.
man.
But
We talking about
but
the legend,
Brady Brady's
the
had some
living
help
legend.
too. Brady has had some help too. I mean,
Yeah, but
the
every team
deflate
needs, every
gate,
quarterback needs some players.
yeah, well, I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about deflate gate. You had the
Mm.
Belichick recording other
Oh, yeah.
teams. I mean, you've had
I
some
mean, that's on
help.
Belichick. That's on him. That really had nothing to do with that. The GOAT was not involved in that.
No, he was involved in the deflate gate though. He was involved in
So
the
I
fake.
said, okay, so if the Bucks win the Super Bowl coming up, is he in your eyes the GOAT after that?
Oh my God, man!
Six
No,
champ, six
it's just
championships,
it's just not. I just can't do it. I just
six
can't do it.
ten appearances,
And
10
here's the
Super
thing:
Bowl
I don't
appearances.
I don't dislike the guy. I have nothing against Brady whatsoever. I think he's a phenomenal player. I truly do. I mean, the guy can play. He's older than me, so I can say, I'm not
40
gonna
he's
get
40 look 43 and he playing in another Super Bowl.
yeah. Now here's the caveat to that. The announcers on Sunday's game said here he is at 43, still playing and looking like he's 23.
Mhm.
That's a lie. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry. That's a lie. There's no one. I don't care how good you are. That
I'd say
you're
he's
not
better
playing
than ever. He's better than ever right now.
He may be better than ever because he's now learned the game. He's learned what to look for. He knows the passing, and his passing has greatly. Everyone knows his passing has greatly improved since his rookie year.
Yeah, yeah.
But all that, he's had the time to learn all this stuff. 20 years in the league, you better learn something.
You watching like the only way, like Brady doesn't. I would say this. I feel like Brady doesn't lose games because of him.
Oh, come on. No one's perfect. No one's perfect. Think about how many interceptions he threw in the last game before the playoffs. How many interceptions did he throw in that game? 3.
Well, I would say, okay, so for instance, last game he threw 3. Well, 2, one of them, the receiver should have caught it. Literally just tipped off his. He should have caught that.
I'll give you that.
Another one was on the 3rd down, but which was pretty much a punt. Like that was just what I'm saying, like he threw that up, like knowing that if it gets picked, it's they're down back there, and if we kick it, they'd be down in the same spot. I'm at least trying to give my receiver something. And then I don't remember the other one. I didn't see what happened, but
the other one was he jumped. Evans jumped up. It tipped his hands, flew up in the air right into. I forgot the player's name right now, but right into the other player's hands.
See, Brady has calculated interceptions. Like if you're gonna throw an interception, throw a Brady interception to where like it was for a reason. It's never his fault. It's always the receiver that threw the route correctly. But no, man, this guy is a football god, and I was thinking the other night, like he's like too perfect. Like never makes mistakes. Obviously a champion, married to a supermodel. Like never in the news for nothing bad or crazy. Like, do you think he like secretly like?
Except for now he is. Except for now he's in the news for something bad. No.
But I mean, like he's never like in the news for like drug addiction or or something like that. It's always some white collars.
Here's the thing: how much do we really know about Brady? Because granted,
exactly
because a lot of other players, they have their whole social media lives out in front of everybody. We know that Brady's a Republican. We know that.
Yeah.
But we don't know who he hangs out with. We don't know what he does for fun.
Like Brady doesn't have like an entourage.
He doesn't have entourage, I'm sure he does, but his entourage is probably more, instead of friends he had coming through school, his entourage is more likely the friends who graduated come through school and are like accountants and business managers and lawyers, and that's his entourage. People who like stay low key.
Yeah, he stays okay. Like he stays out of the limelight, I guess, and just kind of just keeps to himself, and then like performs well, and then once the season's over or whatever it may be, like you never hear about him. Football starts and you hear about. I don't know. I think he's probably like eating babies. I really think he's eating like babies or something in the basement, and like it's keeping him young and healthy. Like he's doing something.
That actually kind of goes into the story I had. Apparently there's a player. His name is Larry Johnson.
Okay,
and he believes
that's a very common name, Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Well, okay. So he's a former Chiefs running back. I don't recall the year, but his name is Larry Johnson, and he claims the NFL rigged the Super Bowl for the Bucks because Tom Brady is a member of the occult.
Wait, like Illuminati?
Yeah, like Illuminati. That's exactly who they're saying. This is coming from bro.
So explain what the Illuminati is. Like, what's the whole,
Okay, I'll give you
surrounding the Illuminati. What is that?
A brief overview of what the Illuminati kind of is. So Illuminati, they are a supposed group. I'm not going to say they are because you don't know. They're a supposed group of very powerful individuals in the world, not just in the country, but in the world, who come together to make all the decisions for the rest of the world. They state that they're the ones who choose.
So kind of like the United Nations.
The government leaders are going. Yeah, but they choose presidents. Apparently, Washington, the first president, was Illuminati. Or was Lincoln. The ones who make big names are the ones they say are Illuminati. John F. Kennedy.
This is part of apparently. Damn, he got assassinated, and Abraham Lincoln.
But what's the other part of it too is they consider people who are Freemasons, which I am. they consider that a part of Illuminati, which we've never had anything to do with Illuminati. I can tell you that firsthand. um, but apparently there's some tomb in DC, which there's a tomb in DC for the Freemasons, but apparently there's a tomb in DC for Illuminati where there's these secrets that are kept in this massive library for no one to ever see except for the top leaders of the Illuminati.
And Nicolas Cage.
And Nicolas Cage, yeah.
You know you're gonna find it.
That's a brief overview of Illuminati. So
okay,
this running back, the former Kansas Chiefs running back Larry Johnson, he apparently has had an absolute. This is from Bro Bible, which I've heard of Bro Bible. I'm sure you had a Bro Bible. They're, when it comes to football, they're all over the place. After that, they disappear. But football, they're. That's not good for a news magazine. I'm just saying, but I understand. Still, if you have a direct interest and that's your lane, that's your lane.
Exactly. Some people like weird stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's your lane. Hey, football only. I get it. But in this apparently, but according to the Bible, they say he's had an absolutely bizarre post NFL career on social media. Now we all know that in the NFL and in the NBA, not so much baseball, but I'm sure it's getting there. That players aren't just paid for the performance on the field. They're also now paid for their performance on social media, getting endorsements, getting followers, and all those other mess. So, you know, that's a correct saying. You know, social media is a career now for certain people. And I'm sure
it is.
I'm sure he has a pretty substantial following. You know, I didn't go to his Instagram to see.
He has like a couple million, I think.
Yeah, sounds exactly. So I'm sure he has a pretty good, substantial following, which, yeah. And think about it. If he's got that kind of following, not a couple people, but half of them send him $5 a year. He's making $3 million a year just from having followers.
He has 8.2 million Instagram followers.
See, think of it. Look at that.
He's only following 392.
Following 392 people. That's it. That's crazy. Anyway, so back to the story. So for the past few years, this according to Bro Bible, Johnson has gone on several unhinged rants accusing LeBron James of committing I still can't get through it without laughing. Of accusing LeBron James of committing a blood sacrifice to win a championship.
He definitely was the one against Golden State, if that's the case.
I know, right?
I don't know how they pull that
off. Sharing bizarre conspiracy theories, claiming the NFL and the NBA have a feminine agenda, basically, you know, turning the leagues feminine. And that is being pushed by that agenda is being pushed by the Illuminati. There we go in our story.
I'm part of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I sent my application. They haven't got back to me yet, but you know, I don't know how they process works, but I'm pretty sure it got accepted. You know, I can't say much though, because I'm part of.
If you do like the Illuminati
symbol,
don't exist. which is probably like something like that. I think, you know, probably like something like
a
that,
diamond,
you know, like a diamond. You know, they'll probably show up in the middle, like beam. You're accepted.
Like don't worry, we'll contact you. You don't have to contact us. We'll find you.
We have our ways.
It's always like, the Illuminati kind of reminds me of what's that place in Clearwater, like Scientology.
Scientology, yeah.
That whole ordeal.
But that actually exists.
Yeah, they open about it.
They're real.
But the same practices, like, hey, this is like, we will ruin your life if, we make big decisions for big people type.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you try to go against us or say anything, we're coming for you.
Yeah, and they have a team. When Kanye,
they hire people to do that.
Yeah, when Kanye West was accused of being, when he said he was a part of the Illuminati, and then people came after him for that, he had a team of lawyers ready to fight for him, and they did. Yeah. And notice how quickly that story got. That story was killed quick.
Did he break? Did he just recently? I don't know if that was a rumor or not, but didn't he recently? Aren't they like him and his wife Kardashian? Aren't they getting a divorce?
There's no actual factual evidence of it, but
Okay.
the rumors are, including apparently from a source inside of the home, a friend of a friend or whatever.
Their kid.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right. Yeah, me and my dad, mommy and daddy are getting a divorce. I can confirm. Who are you? I'm the kid. I'm the reason why. Oh
Oh
man.
man, but allegedly, I gotta throw that out there because
Hmm.
we ain't made it yet to be able to just put it
Yeah,
out.
and the thing is, like, I rather just hear from their mouth than like. First of
Yeah,
all, why I don't even care. Like, why? Who cares if they get divorced or not? And I was man, who?
but
Oh
I mean,
man,
they
what the hell?
allegedly are. They allegedly live in separate places. He lives in Wisconsin. She lives in L.A.
Yeah, but
The kids are with her.
should it be public like business? You
No,
know, what is the line?
I've never liked the whole divorce thing in the news for
Right,
celebrities. I don't care. People have a normal life. They have a normal life.
it happens.
People
Yeah,
break up. People get divorced. It happens. That's the
like
worst moment
why?
of not of your life, because there's gonna be much worse moments. But as
Mhm.
a horrible moment of your life, why relive it over and over and over again on channel 2, 4, and 8 every single
Exactly.
night for a week?
I was
No,
watching.
come on.
Me and Paige were watching yesterday the that Tiger Woods documentary
Oh, is it good?
on
I haven't seen it
HBO.
yet.
It's
I
really
haven't seen
good.
it,
It's
but
really good.
is
It
it?
goes
Yeah.
really like some of the stuff they were like telling was just like, damn, how the Tiger agreed to this? Like, I didn't know this. No, it was like some like personal stuff. Like, damn, like I didn't know all that. But yeah, man, they were like we're on the episode. I don't want to ruin it, but basically they're talking about how I mean, I'm sure you know about the whole ordeal with him cheating and all that
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
like
I mean, I know some parts about the documentary. I've heard, and of course, I read Twitter on that stuff. So I know
right,
some things that went on. I know they
right.
go into heavy detail about the
Yeah,
affair.
about all his like mistresses and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's not illegal. Is it illegal to like
No, it's immoral.
to cheat on
It's
your
not
wife?
illegal.
Okay.
It's not illegal. It's just
And
immoral.
the way they made it seem like it was like he was going to jail. Like they had uh like before the Masters, I think, whatever, or they were at Augusta National Golf Course. I don't know. And like the members, whatever the head members before a tournament, like had like a press conference about like Tiger was like, we don't condone that type of behavior, yada yada yada. I'm like, what the fuck are they like? Are they talking about him and
Having a
his
measure.
wife, like personal like ordeal? I'm like, yeah, like they made it seem like he beat somebody up with a golf club at during the tournament or something like that.
Well,
It had
a
nothing to
lot
do
of
with
those
golf.
guys, and a lot of those guys, if not 99%, not gonna say 100, not
Hmm.
99% of them, all have mistresses. All
Yeah,
we're doing the
they just haven't
exact
got caught yet.
same thing. They just hadn't got caught yet.
But if you do
That's
get
all it
caught, we can't be friends anymore.
is.
We're gonna have to chastise you for a little bit, but then
you
they'll
know,
forget, and then you can come back to the golf course.
they probably came out on TV and said all that
No, no,
crap.
but that's what it did.
But
Yeah,
yeah, but I'm saying, but behind the scenes, I'm sure they were sitting there going, "Man, what were you doing,
man,
dude? Man, you
I
blowing
can't
up the
believe
scene, man. I might get
exactly.
caught now, man. What you doing?"
It's like Tiger. We gave you the rental car so you can ditch it. Oh my god, man, we gotta kick you out of
We
Illuminati.
schooled you. We. This is how the game is played.
Right, and it's like, and the funny part, well, not the funny, but like the weird part was just like, they for some reason they like he was like being like chased by paparazzi. He's like Tiger, blah blah blah, this and this and chasing all his
Yeah,
mistresses, and then like it's almost like they expected him to play worse for like how it they
yeah,
expected him to affect his golf game, but like this dude is the greatest, arguably the greatest golfer ever. Like he's good at golf. That's
yeah.
why you know him because he's good at golf. Why would he also
There's a
be
reason
bad
why he's
at
called
golf?
the Jordan of golf. It's not because he's
Yeah,
black. It's because he's that damn good. White
yeah.
players have been called the Jordan of golf before.
Hmm.
It's just because it's this guy who plays. I mean, what in his first 3 years he broke,
He
I think, all the records, or not
he was
all of them, but
just
most of the records
he
in
was
golf.
just crushing it. Like I mean, the document, like the first episode is like it starts from like birth, pretty much, like even pre-birth, like talking about his dad and stuff like that. And I mean, this dude was swinging a golf club at like 2 months old, or not 2 months old, but
Mhm.
2 years old. So yeah, man, he was just meant for it. But like, you can just tell, like, I mean, it's the series is still going on, but you can just tell it's just like, man, he just wants to play golf, and then like you just get all this fame and stardom, and he don't know how to act, man.
Yeah, the Illuminati didn't cover him.
Yeah, see, if you was an Illuminati, you would have been straight. But that just goes to show how, like, sometimes you don't even really ask for that type of attention. You just happen to be really good at a popular sport.
And yeah, you get it, saying Brady. But that's why I say this whole Illuminati mess. There, Johnson saying, and I guarantee you, it's not just Johnson. Even I've said before the NFL is rigged because all of a sudden, when people get up time to retire, which hasn't
Mhm,
happened in the last few years, but
mhm.
all of a sudden, when people get time to retire, all of a sudden their team's in the Super Bowl. That happened
Yeah,
with Pittsburgh.
I
With
mean, I
it
do
happened a
think.
couple times. Pittsburgh happened with some other teams. They had their star player. He's about to retire,
Mhm.
so they get them to the Super Bowl, and he gets his ring, and then he retires.
I mean, I
Ray Rice. It happened to Ray Rice.
I do see how it could look like that if
I
it
don't
seems like
believe
the
that,
popular
but
player seems to always, like, make it to the grand stage. But then again, they wouldn't if they weren't good, they probably wouldn't be, such a sought after talent or a popular player.
that's
I
true.
don't know. It's tough. And I would say this, and Tom Brady hasn't won anything yet in Tampa. I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be the first loser.
Well,
So I think,
technically, you did win the NFC Championship, so you have
yeah,
technically
but
won something.
and if that NFC Championship, you could flush that trophy down
Yeah,
the toilet, man. It's all
no,
that shit doesn't even matter, man. It's all about the big one. You know what I
it
mean? Like,
is.
I don't even think do people care about that? Like in the NBA, like when they win Western and Eastern Conference championships, like do they really like even care about that?
Now, I don't think they do. I'm gonna be honest. I think they do just for the fact that they can gloat about it for the rest of the season if they
Yeah.
don't win the big game.
Uh-huh.
But if they win the big game, none of that crap makes any
Yeah.
difference.
You would punt that trophy. That's
Yeah,
for the other team. Like, hey, you
exactly.
guys, at least you won your conference.
You're
And
yeah,
I don't understand why they even do it the way they do it. And I'm sure there's good reasoning, but like have divisions and conferences. I mean, divisions I understand just because of location, if that's how they
yeah.
do it. But like it should be seeded like March Madness, man. It's the top 16 just re-scrambled based on records. So then like you actually can possibly get the two best teams, regardless of conference, playing against each other. Not
But the
the
problem with
best team
that,
from one side versus the best team from another side, because it's just like, you know,
but the
it,
problem with that, you'd have the same issue that we just had uh with Tampa Bay. We
Mhm.
played the Saints 3 times this year.
Right.
What if the Saints, instead of us playing them 3 times, well, we had to play them 3 times. They lost, but they get to play a wild card. They beat their wild card and they're back in the game. Now we got to play them 4 times in a year.
No, well, well, I'm saying like there wouldn't even be a wild card. It would just be the top. How many teams make it to the NFL playoffs? 14.
Uh, yeah, 14. I believe. Let's see. 14 gets down. I think it's 16. I think it's 16.
Can you even have a tournament with? Yeah, you can. I mean, just seed it 1 through 14 and bracket it to where the 1 seed would play the 14, and 2 seed would play 13, and so on and so on. And by then, by the championship, you would know that you would just have the two best teams. Because it's a lot of
Yeah.
times. Like I remember when in the early 2000s and in 2010s and stuff like that, it would just be like I remember the Lakers and Spurs would play each other a lot in the Western Conference Finals, but statistically, that was the championship. Those were the two best teams playing each other. Like you could tell,
Yeah.
because then like the one team would make the championship and just destroy the shit out of whoever they were playing. you
Yeah.
know,
That's true.
so
That's true.
I
Well,
don't know.
it's a good point. And for years, it wasn't, there were just 2 divisions. Then they broke it up and made 4. And then in the NFL, they broke it up and made 4 in like 2002 or something like that.
Why
And
did
then
they
they
do that
just,
though? Is it because of travel?
I forget. I think it was, I don't know. I don't think travel has anything to do with it. I think it's just so people stop seeing teams playing the same teams over and over again. I think that really played into it because
Hmm.
you had the NFL just putting out matches that they knew were going to be the biggest watch games. So that's all they would do. So you have the Bears always playing the Packers like twice a year. Granted, huge game, but once you've seen it a couple of times, do you really want to see it a third time? You know?
No, nah. I mean, I think the max two teams to play each other is maybe twice, and then if
Yeah,
they just
I
so
think
happen to
twice.
play each other in the championship, I mean, whatever. But
That's championship. Yeah.
it's just kind of like SEC. It's like Alabama plays the same
Oh,
teams, and then they all make it to the
that
championship.
college to me, college is one that really needs
A
a
shake
shake
up.
up, really,
Yeah,
because
it's too
I think
lopsided.
yeah, exactly. I think like I personally, I think Alabama should have to play someone like USC, back when they were top dog,
Mhm.
or Oregon. Could you imagine the power of Alabama versus the speed of Oregon? That would be insane.
You ever thought that they should do like instead of having like separate conferences? Well, have separate conferences, but like by rank. So like say like the top
Three.
10 teams would have to play each other, would be in their own conference, and then 10 through 20 would be in their own conference. And we'll say it'll go up to the top 30 or 40 teams, and then the winners from those conferences would play each other in the playoffs.
That could be
Well, I
good.
guess
That'd be a
the top
sight.
10 team would most likely win every time, but that way it's like the champions of champions type of deal.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
guess that's kind of how it is now. But I
There's
just hate
definitely
seeing the same
room.
teams make it.
Yeah, exactly. There's ways to improve it. Like I said, Alabama's power. They've
Yeah,
shown that.
country boys.
Yeah, but Oregon and those other places, their speed. But I mean, and Alabama's never played like a Wisconsin in a good year. Wisconsin's a bunch of nothing but country boys. Could
Yeah.
you? I mean, that
But
would
they
be a
never can
pretty
beat
equal.
Ohio State, so they would never. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it's always gatekeepers in every conference. Like, nah, you got to beat us to make it
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
And then Ohio State
and
makes it and embarrasses the shit out of themselves.
Clemson's the ACC gatekeeper. I mean, right now it has been since 2015.
Yeah, and what sucks is like if you play football and you want to go to the ACC, like you got it on your mind. If you don't go to Clemson, you most likely won't
Yeah,
make it
unless
to
I'm
the
going to Clemson,
championship.
I'm not going to the championship. I'm probably not
Yep.
going to the NFL unless I go
Yep.
to Clemson.
Yeah. Well.
That's something. That's something. That has never in my lifetime been the case, but it is now my adult life, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, good luck to your teams and good luck to Brady. So
yeah.
speaking
Moving
of
on.
speaking of games, I was playing what was I playing? Oh yeah, some Call of Duty the other day, and I had a buddy. So we're all on different systems, right? I play like on a PC. One's on Xbox, one's on PS5, and I forgot the other
You
stuff.
had a
Maybe
buddy
the
who got the
Xbox.
PS5. I tell
Oh
him, oh
yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
I know a
don't
lot of
like
people
him.
that got it now,
I don't like the guy. Screw
and
that guy.
I don't even. Well, I don't even.
No, I'm saying screw that guy because he got a PS5.
Are they still hard to get? Are they still hard to get right now?
Yes, they're still hard to get.
Really? Oh my god!
Yes.
I guess I
Yeah.
gave up after but he had a PS5 and we'll be playing, and then like he'll just like kind of just like log off or just like he'll get kicked. We'll call it, maybe something happened, and he's like, like, damn man, you got that brand new PS5 and you having all the issues. And then one of my other buddies, he's like, yeah, that plays on Xbox. He's like, yeah, man, I bought this Xbox from my a friend of mine, and it had roaches in it inside the X. I was like, time out. All right, so my boy with the PS5, I'm just like, damn man, that sucks. You gotta keep restarting this and bring the PS5. But then my other boy, he just tried to say that like let it slide by, like that's normal. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like we talk about bugs in the system, but you got a real bug in the system in your Xbox. And he just brushed it off, said, yeah, I just cleaned it out and I was fine. I was like, oh my god, how do you get a roach inside your Xbox? Like, how is that even possible?
I thought roaches were almost extinct because I grew up with them in the house and it was completely nasty. I hated every minute of it. And when I became an adult and moved out, I never had another roach in my house. You get a water bug, that's just causes it's out. But you don't get an actual roach or the whole colony.
Especially those palmetto bugs. Oh my god.
Yeah. Those big ones. I'd rather see, because there's only one big one. You figure them out and that's it. Versus a roach, when if you see a roach, once you see one or two roaches, that means you've got like 1,000 in your wall somewhere. I mean, it's this is how it goes.
Yeah. If you see roaches. One, Trust me, he ain't by himself. You'll never see a roach is never by himself. There's always the lookout very close by. And they report back to the colony like, yes, Jim is dead, but he left us plenty of sugar underneath the bed, right by the pillow. Just make sure you don't wake up the guy sleeping.
Yep. And that's why I made sure that I was not gonna have roaches in my house. So it is funny that your buddy is just cleaning them out, just like nonchalantly. Yeah, I just gotta get some roaches out of here.
I'm like, man, he talking about he was getting like hacked. Like somebody's hacking my Xbox. Turns out it's Mr. Roach inside his Xbox, fiddling with the cords. I'm like,
but
you can't. What do you call? You can't call a technician. You got to call exterminator.
Hell no. Who buys an Xbox or any game system that has roaches in it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you've got a house of roaches, I'm not buying your stuff. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I grew up with it, so I understand the pain and the struggle. But I'm not gonna buy it because I don't want to bring that to my house.
Exactly. And then some people are like, especially those palmetto bugs. Some motherfuckers huge. And they'd be like, especially in Florida, like, it's a season. It's you're in Florida. There's bugs. I'm like, fuck that. Like, no, man. Yeah, there's exterminators too. Those, like, imagine. I see why that's big business, right? If that was my slogan, I'm an exterminator. Hey, it's Florida. There's bugs. Like, nah, son. I pay a lot of money to stay here. All right. There shouldn't be any bugs within a 5-mile radius of where I'm at right now. Right. This is a clean environment. Oh my God.
If only that was true, man. If only that was true. Granted, I will admit.
He had an Xbox 3 Roach. Xbox Series Roach.
That's why you get a screen. Since my new place, since I bought this place, no water bugs. I've not seen a water bug close to the inside of my house yet. Over in South Tampa, they were every time it rained, they were out there. After the rain went away, boom, they were out there trying to get my house, or I find some random one like flying across my floor. I'm like, okay, this stupid water bug.
What eats roaches? Spiders, lizards, right?
I would probably lizards. I would think, because I don't think spiders eat roaches. Spiders have like a weird, a picky palate, man. They only like certain things.
I don't eat that. I don't eat flies.
Yeah, they're
big ass spider. Nah, I keep my calories low. I can't eat that. Nah, it's too big. I don't want that bite. It's like, man, like, I don't know. I'm thinking about getting an iguana though. I don't have any roaches, but like, I kind of like reptiles and lizards, stuff like that.
If you get an iguana, I'm only gonna I have to wear a hat in your house at all times, because I had a friend actually at the time, who was my best friend growing up. He had an iguana, and whenever I go over to visit him, the iguana like jump. He's a white guy. I'm a black guy. Every time I go over to his house, the iguana like to jump on my head. Every single time. I guess because I didn't have hair. I'm wearing my hair like this. The stupid thing would always jump in my head.
Is that a heating pad? What is that?
I think so. I think that's what they thought. Because like I'll be walking in the bedroom. Hey, so and so, how you doing, man? Blah 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 blah. Hey, let's play. What was big at the time? Let's play Sonic. Genesis.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, let's play some Sonic, man. Cool, let's do it. As soon as I turn my head, whack.
Goddamn baby T-Rex on the back of your head.
Pretty much.
God,
friendly as shit. But just the fact that it tries to jump in my head every single time.
Did you ever get a snake, like a python or anything?
I actually have no problem with snakes, but my other half does. Definitely afraid of them. Afraid of them. But like I tried to say, when little Sean was little, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we get a snake, because he was in this whole phase of liking reptile. I'm like, cool.
Right.
She lost it. She's like, no. Can't have a snake.
No. Especially like, and then you lose a snake. Like I had a buddy like that, man. This is a weird. Now that I think about this, so do you ever look back at like certain like situations, like, damn, that was.
Don't tell me it's the same buddy.
No, this is different. This is not the roach buddy. This is one of my friends. I'm not gonna say his name because he's real cool. Yeah. He might listen, so I don't know. But anyway, he had a snake, python, not huge, maybe like. I mean, I don't know how big snakes normally get, but this had to be like 4, maybe 3 feet. We'll say 3 feet just to be safe, 3 to 4 feet. And like, he had one, and then like he would lose it for like months. Like I would go over there, and then like I'd be like, "Yo, where's your snake?" He'd be like, "I don't know." What do you mean you don't know? It disappears for like a couple days, 2 weeks, and like he'll randomly like find them under the couch or something like that. And not only did he have a python that just was on the loose all the time, he used to have like a lot of guns for some reason. Like he was from the West Palm Beach area,
Oh,
and he had moved here, and he was telling me like over there is real like rough, and well, I guess where he grew up, but
yeah.
he'd have like hidden guns, like secret compartment type guns.
Like you
Like
tap
I
the
remember I went
table
over
and
there
then
one
a gun
time
fall out.
because I was looking for the snake. I was like, damn, how'd you lose the snake? I looked up the couch, and it's like an AK-47 underneath the couch. Like, what the like, bro? You a drug dealer or something? He's like, nah, man. I just in case somebody break in and I'm laying on the couch. I need to have guns in every. He had one under the couch, and I'm not trying to give all his hiding spots away, but he
Yeah,
had one
yeah.
under the couch, like 3 of them under the mattress in the bed, one in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, you are ready for a war. I'm like, who is trying to break into your house? And I hope no one ever does. You got a python, AK-47s, like this is. I used to call this house like jungle warfare. That's what I thought. Like, all right, it's a snake in there somewhere, and it's an AK. Hopefully, I don't have to run into either one of them.
Man, that's funny. Oh
It
my
was crazy,
god.
man. He's a firefighter now.
But the Python part, I mean,
Yeah,
man,
he just. But then, like, it
he's
was
going.
cool though, because like it was just be like, I'll put some food in his cage, like a little a mouse or something, and then like we'll be playing like Madden or something, and then like 2 hours later, I look at the
Poof.
cage, like the snake wouldn't be in the cage, and then the mouse wouldn't be in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mouse just increases vertical edge by like 5 inches.
Yeah.
That snake came in there, got him while we was playing Madden, and then disappeared again.
It's like, ooh, food. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I like snakes. The good thing is you only have to feed them like once a month,
Yeah, that's. I mean,
but
as far as
it's
the
live
care,
bait. Yeah, it's easy
yeah. I
care. They
mean,
kind of take care of themselves.
yeah. But granted, yes, it is live bait. But the bait that you're using technically, is lab rats. So they're gonna be
Yeah.
used. If they're not fed to the snake, they're gonna be used for testing anyway. So they're
How
not
pissed would you
exactly
be
like.
if you were a mouse? Like you would just be like, "Oh, that's not so bad," and then like you find out like, "Oh, wait a minute, why am I in this little cage? Why does this feel eerily like something bad is about to happen?" Next thing you know, they just drop a giant snake in there. Like think of all the movies where there's a giant snake and there's humans and people freak out.
Anaconda, yeah,
And now
anaconda.
imagine you're a mouse. That shit happens daily. Like,
Well, yeah. Oh my God. Imagine if they did it like this. Okay, let me
yeah.
give you. Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene. So you're a mouse, not the snake.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say snake. You're the mouse. Just one mouse,
Mm-hmm.
and you just now all of a sudden been moved to this new location. Like, oh, cool. I'm
Yep.
not gonna be a lab mouse. This is
Okay.
not so bad.
Climate
And
control. Okay.
climate control. You got a window, so you see people. So you think, oh, I might become a pet. Oh wow, this is a pet store. Oh,
Oh,
nice,
oh, nice.
nice.
Hi, everybody. How you
This
doing?
is good. Then all of a sudden, and you see your other mouse buddies, and you're all together in one room. So you're not in
Mhm.
separate cages, but you're all together, and they
Yeah. What's
haven't
up, you
said a
guys?
word. They haven't said a word to you yet. They're just sitting in the corner, just shivering. You're like, what is wrong with these
Yeah.
people?
And you probably
Because
don't even know what a snake is.
because
You
I don't.
probably just read it like snake
Yeah.
bait. What does that mean?
Hmm, I don't know what that is. And then all of a sudden, 2 days later, the thing opens up. You're like, oh, did someone get me? And they
Yep.
drop that snake in there. You're like,
Or you
oh
see,
my God.
yeah, you see like one of your buddies, like Fred the mouse, like, oh, what's up, Fred? How you doing, man? Pretty good, man. I've been here for like 3 weeks. Like, okay, cool. Then you wake up and Fred ain't there no more. You be like, hey, yo, where'd Fred go? Oh, he went to the remember on Life, the upper room. He went to the upper room, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the destiny for all of us. Yeah, everybody's happy until it's your turn. You realize the upper room is a 8 foot long uh, esophagus from a from a pipe. Oh man, glad be happy we not a mouse, right?
Oh yeah. Oh my
They be the
goodness.
first to get tested on, eaten, thrown into a bottomless pit. Oh, who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean, yeah,
I
be
hate
glad
it.
you're not nice. Because I mean, if you're that snake, I mean, if you're that mouse that was in that situation, all of a sudden they drop that snake in there. He doesn't eat you,
Mm-hmm.
but he's one of the mouse in the little crowd over there.
Mm-hmm.
You replace that mouse in that crowd. You're like, oh, there's a hole. I'm going in that hole.
Yeah,
And now you're shivering, scared, and you're not saying the word anymore.
I would hate to be a mouse. And then like they got and then like imagine you a mouse and you the window, you the window display, you look up, you see a billboard that says eat more chicken from Chick-fil-A. I'm like, God damn, why can't snakes just eat chickens instead of mice? Oh man. We're human.
God. So I was gonna ask you, what do you think your credit score is?
I think my credit score is, man, I know what it used to be.
It is.
Let's see right now. Oh man. So mine was good like a year ago. And then I bought some stuff. I'm gonna say like
that normally what hurts it.
I would guess like between 670 and 700, somewhere in that threshold.
Yeah, that's about where I am after that.
I don't want, but this is just a shot in the dark. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that's about where I am, and that's generally about average. To be quite honest, that's
right.
Generally average score. That doesn't it won't kill you getting a car. It won't kill you getting a house or whatever.
I did pay off my car
really good rates
last year, but I also opened like a new line of credit, so I think
that probably even out. It probably even it out because you paid off one loan and you open another.
I try to keep installment. My credit line's active to a point. Like, so I'm not just like sitting there not using something and it's just not doing nothing except hurting me. So,
and then it'll fall. But so so you're doing really well as far as as far as I know, as far as the average, as far as the way the FICO grades it. 670.
Right.
That's pretty well. 700. That's even better.
I'll take that.
But how about if you were to only use Credit Karma to get your credit scores, and you're thinking you're going through life hunky dory. You had a car before you bought Credit Karma, so you're not really worried about that. Right. Okay. Now all of a sudden you want to get an apartment. Cool. First apartment. Yay. You walk up in there. In your head, you're like, man, I got a 720. I'm good.
720, baby.
I'm gonna get that first free month, and I'm gonna get it out, put down a deposit. Watch this. You walk up in there, they sit you down, they say all the nice things, all the good words. You say all the good words. Like, here's your credit app. It won't be a problem, sir. We know you've got good credit.
Like, you damn right I got good credit.
Yeah.
Just give me one moment.
Yeah. You do your little thing, You just give it to them. They pop it back up. Sir, you have a 500. We cannot rent to you. You have a 500 credit score. Your FICO score is a 500.
That's when they like take that deep breath, like, what?
Yeah. Exactly.
Wait. Let me see. Can I see that? Like, yeah, sure. Here you go.
Yeah.
Wait.
But we need you to leave the premises though, because we don't allow anyone less than 550 even being.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get your broke ass out of here because we gotta, an image.
We have yeah. You got to go.
That's not surprising though, because
it's not surprising to you. How come?
Well, so when I used to do mortgages, I'd put a lot of people's credit and stuff like that, and depending on how do I say this? So basically, with the Credit Karma and stuff like that, it doesn't really show everything. They have a different like grading scale, pretty much.
Yeah, they use what's called the Vantage. Where is it? I just had it. The Vantage. Yeah, it's called a Vantage score. That's what they
Vantage score. Okay, so I don't know what the Vantage score is, but basically it's Credit Karma is free. I'm pretty sure, and
it's free use.
I always say like those free credit, companies that you can check your score all the time. Like I take that with a grain of salt because you're only getting half the truth, right? And you always got to ask yourself, well, how come Credit Karma is free, but when you guys put on credit, it's not technically free? I'm like, well,
it's always $39.95.
Your real credit, yeah,
$39.95.
We pull your real. We see everything. The history from when you first started up until now, and everything in between. And
which companies like LexisNexis, the actual credit repairing companies, the ones that are affiliated with law firms and law offices,
right?
Those are the ones. Yeah,
exactly. So like with Credit Karma, I'm not saying it's not 100, not not saying it's way off or anything like that, but
it definitely helps some people.
it gives just kind of a, a roundabout idea, I guess, of where your credit score is, and like I said, it's free. And I always tell people, look, the bigger purchase or whatever you're trying to get, a loan for, or whatever you need your credit for, the more expensive it is the more in-depth credit, report that you're going to get and we're going to get. So
Yep.
it makes a lot more sense. And, most people would just be like, well, I just checked on Credit Karma. My score is this, or like, I just got approved for this really nice car. Like, especially they use the cars excuse a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and why is my dealership sending me all these off my credit card company? Because that's their job to do that. Like, everybody gets approved. We just get different rates.
Yeah, and that's the thing when it comes to with you when it comes to car. I used to work for credit for a little while, and I learned a lot about how this works. They're not physical, but they're a myriad of banks that do nothing but loan money for cars. Nothing else, just for cars. And they call themselves a bank, even though they don't have a physical location whatsoever. They're totally an online system.
Right.
Santander being one of them. What I used before was, I don't even remember what the name of it was I used before, but it's set up that they can get anyone in a car at any level that you want to be at.
Right.
Then it's not going to be the payment you want, but they can get you in a car. They can get your car with zero down. They can do all that because there's always a bank out there, a non-physical bank that's sole job is to loan bad paper.
Doesn't matter how
and that's
bad,
what it's called. It's
the
called
only way
bad
you
paper.
Couldn't get a car is if you literally had no credit. Like if you just didn't have. I mean, even then, you probably still could.
As far they're going to get you in a car. They will get you in a car. Period.
But like what I was telling the moral here is just I would say like, hey man, if it's free, it's probably some sort of catch to it. Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there is legit free shit, but like when it comes to like credit, like that's you take that with a grain of salt.
Well, on this just to kind of go into it a little bit. So when it comes to Credit Karma, and we're not trying to pick on Credit Karma, but it just happens to be the one that's trending this week on Twitter because that's the one that most people know.
Right.
And people are sitting there not happy about the fact that they say on Credit Karma they have a 725, and then they go to buy. No one has really tried to buy a house. No one, the comments I've read so far, no one's tried to buy a house with it, but it's really the cars that they get, and all of a sudden they walk into the dealership going, "Here's my credit score." Dealership gives them another paper showing, "Oh, this is your credit score," and now you have a heated discussion about who is right.
With the whole so I remember you couldn't say if someone says, "Hey, I just checked my credit through credit score. Could I just send you guys that whatever paper?" No, most places will have to use their own system to check your credit. So I don't know why people print that stuff out and think they just walk like it's a badge or something like that. No, man. By the time that thing comes out of the printer, your credit score has already changed.
And it has the moment as soon as any question is made on your credit, any inquiry. Thank you. Anytime that's made, something your credit score has changed, even if it's a fraction of a point. And yes, there are fractions of points in credit, which something else I didn't know, but they actually do. Even though you said you got a 720, you may have a 719 3/4, but because the way it's read, you have a 720. Goes the other way, might have a 719 4 points. Guess what? You have a 719, and the moment that those things are printed, or the moment that Joe Blow out in Timbuktu pays his $20 to see who you are because he's trying to find you for some kind of, what's it called, when they find your history and all that mess, that's an inquiry. Yeah, that's a small inquiry in credit. It's only worth 2 points, but it's an inquiry on your credit. So
so that's why you should never just constantly keep checking your credit because you're just hurting yourself in a sense. Exactly. I always tell people, listen, pay your bills, pay it off early or on time, and make sure you don't have any collections or double check. That's if you literally
check it once a month.
Credit, I'll say this, you can only really hurt your credit score. most people start off with a decently moderate. If you do what you're supposed to do and pay stuff on time and pay off things and don't max out things, then your credit score is
Don't
probably
max
good.
out things. That's
Yeah,
that's
don't
the
max
that's the
out or
trick.
don't hey not even max. Don't go overboard with it. Your credit's probably
Yeah.
good, but what happens is people don't do that, and it just goes terrible. And then they go on
Yeah.
Credit Karma, and Credit Karma is only reporting the 2 things you paid off, but not the other 6 that are maxed out. Then you
Yep.
go get a house or a car, and they're just like, nah, nah, you know.
It's not.
And
No.
and depending on how large the purchase is or whatever you're trying to get, like man, that's a huge difference, man. With different interest rates, like
Huge.
1 to 2,
Huge.
a 5 between a 4 and a 5 doesn't seem much, but over $1 million loan over 30 years, that's a huge difference.
Yeah. It's shoot three
Most people
hundred
wouldn't
thousand
get that,
dollars.
but
I mean, $300,000. If you think about it, that's not chump change. That's
yes,
life changing money.
that's a lot, yeah. But
Yeah.
like the problem is a lot of them are so caught up. Like once you like at a dealership, right? For instance, you want to buy a car, or if you're at a bank or credit union or whatever, you're in the process, right, of applying for something. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people are so you don't be like in a rush. When you're in a rush, like or you're desperate,
You'll
I
accept.
guess.
Yeah. There
Yeah,
you
you
go.
will accept the most terrible terms ever, you know, and it
You
sucks
should
because you
never be
just
afraid to walk. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, but like they get stuck in these terrible deals, and like there's nobody to blame but yourself, right?
Yeah.
And it's
You
it's
should.
usually over something silly. You can negotiate this stuff too, by the
Yeah.
way. Like
Exactly. You should never be afraid to walk away from a deal.
no,
Never be.
never.
That's the problem. If once you get so invested, you're like, I'm invested. Even though you haven't even dropped a dollar, it's just that's your time and your energy into it. You're like, okay. And at that point in your head, you've now all of a sudden cut off breaking away from this deal. You're like, it's set in stone. All he's got to do is do his part, and I'm signing. Then all of a sudden it comes back that they need some extra money or whatever. And because you in your head, you're already set for that deal, you sign. High
Right.
interest rate, extra money on top of it. Maybe even a balloon payment in there, which
Right.
is horrible. But you
Yeah,
sign
I don't know why
thinking
people even do
I'm
that. Unless you
sucking
know
this
you're
deal.
about to be a gazillionaire. Don't do a balloon.
I have no idea why people
I
do
don't
it.
even know why that's an option.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's terrible. I mean, I can only think of one scenario where I guess it would benefit you. Like maybe if you're getting some type of like inheritance or trust on a certain date, it's a lump sum or something like that, then yeah, I guess that makes sense. But
If you knew, I mean, you had
yeah,
to be
you would
ready.
have to know. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
you probably have to prove it too, to where like they would even offer you that type of loan. Well, these
definitely.
days you would have to prove it. 15 years ago, hey man, as long as your heart was beating, you approved.
Pretty much. Yeah. 15
Yep,
years
and
ago,
it's
my
and it'll
goodness.
get back to that point, man. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, man,
Was
everything is just repeats itself.
people were telling me 15 years ago, whatever, to buy a house or whatever, because it's so easy
Mhm.
to buy a house and, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad I didn't buy a house back then. Not because I didn't get the location. I wouldn't not have gotten the location I wanted, but because I would have been caught up in that whole bust of
Yeah,
having more house than I could afford probably.
3, 4
Or
houses, but
yeah,
vacant, nobody even lives there. That
exactly.
is crazy, man. I would like sometimes I have to ask myself, like, would I have been one of those that bought like 3 or 4 houses, knowing you
I
can't,
would
but
have.
you don't know any better.
Yeah, I would have been. I know people who did, and now they have to use them for rentals, and they aren't making what they
Nothing.
could have made, or
Yep.
perhaps nothing, because these aren't the best houses. So you're always out repairing these houses,
Right.
always out having to do something to fix it up, whatever. Because your thought was, I buy this house, I improve it some, I flip it, and I'm good. That's not the case.
Yeah,
That
but to
was
flip it, you gotta have somebody that wants to buy it.
yeah.
That's that's
And
tough, man.
before you get, like you say, you could buy 3 or 4 houses, you know, have them sitting there. You might even vacation a couple of them, because at that
Mhm.
point in time, even though the rates were kind of low, but it's the fact that the rates were so low with the balloon payment at the end that you're like,
Right.
oh, okay, I can
Yeah,
do all
it's like
this
a
stuff.
shock. It's like, like you be paying 500, excuse me, we'll say $500 a month, right? And then
Yeah,
next thing you know, that balloon payment come up. It's like, all right, next month you're gonna owe us the balance of $600,000 and some change, and you're just like, oh my god, I don't
yeah,
have that. I'm filing for bankruptcy. And
yep.
once you do that, that's a whole nother,
Oh, that's a
slew of
whole nother
problems.
thing. That's Oh my God.
It's crazy, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Credit Karma. It's funny. It's called
Credit
Credit
Karma.
Karma.
I
That's a
know
very
it
unique type of
really
name.
is.
Credit Karma.
There
Like, yeah,
is
we gonna get you regardless.
yeah.
You better believe it.
Yeah. Karma is not always a bad or good thing. It could just be one of those things that make sure you pay
Man.
attention. Pay attention.
You were saying so yeah. So the Credit Karma was trending on Twitter. What also was trending on Twitter is the My Pillow guy that got he got banned permanently.
Yes, he did.
From Twitter CEO Mike Lindell.
So there's this
That
guy
sucks.
or woman, I don't know what their sex, that I follow on Twitter called Parlor Takes. And it's funny, is it basically he or she came out because all these people were going to Parlor because that's where the loyal Trumpists, that's what I call it, the Trumpers, all them,
Why they
the
just call
white
it Trumper?
supremacists.
Why
Yeah,
they
all
call
those
it Parlor. It's weird. Just call it Trumper.
Yeah. They might as well. They would have been the same thing, but they all went there. So this guy, he goes over there, guy, girl, this Parlor person, I'm just gonna call it that way, goes over there, takes screenshots of some of the more important things that people said, the more popular ones that are followed, whatever. And then of course he posts it on Twitter for people on Twitter to see and laugh at it or just discuss whatever. So he was on. I woke up, whatever. Not woke. I was doing doing something for school, but I opened up Twitter, and that was the first thing that came up. It says Parlor Takes Mike Lindell suspended, and he had a picture of the count suspended thing on there. I was like, no way. I knew it was gonna happen, but I just didn't know when. You know,
Sucks, man. Who would have thought he went from selling pillows to being banned? But it probably is better for him, to be honest, because it's like now
it's probably hurting his business.
Well, you know, all the Trumpsters are so hell bent and against anybody who doesn't support them, or you know, it's like it's just picking teams pretty much.
Yeah.
And now you just pretty much you get banned from Twitter. That means you probably got banned for whatever support. Let's say if it supported Trump, right? Or you were his buddy. Who I don't know, but
it's not even. They're only banning them. They're banning them for pushing the false election, that the election was rigged thing, that that they blame Dominion, that they have. Basically, once you put details in your claim, is when Twitter is now suspending you, because you're like, what they're saying is you're putting these false details in this already false claim, which now makes all these other people believe this claim is real because you now put details into it, and because you are a person of a certain stature, you have influence, even though he only had half a million followers.
But he'll probably double that up in whatever social media platform he's allowed on, and they're all gonna buy his pillows. Like he probably made bank. Like he probably.
I'm not gonna say
he get banned for Twitter was the greatest thing that's happened to my company ever.
Actually, I maybe so, but here's the thing. So there's a petition with currently 60,000 signatures, and while to our listeners that may sound like a lot, to our listeners that also know 60,000 signatures in a country of 330 million people, that ain't jack. That's just nothing. To get the White House to respond to anything, you have to have at least 10,000 signatures or 100,000 signatures to get them to respond. So I mean, it's one of those things like, okay, 6,000 signatures to get Walmart and Amazon to stop selling his pillow.
Right.
That's they're not gonna do it for 60,000. You get half a million, they may listen to you, but 60,000, that's not gonna happen. Even though these other companies, they dropped them. But here's my point. So you have all these companies drop them. You had the big ones saying, no, we're not going to drop them yet. But you said business shot up because of the loyalists. But his loyalists aren't the entire of the Republican Party. There's a lot in the Republican Party who cannot stand him, only voted for him because of it's the Republican Party.
Which is baloney. You should never do that.
It really is. It really is.
I mean, I guess until you're in that position, you really don't know. But from the outside looking in, it looks baloney.
It's baloney. But so while it might have a small spike, I don't think it's going to be I don't think the spike is long lasting. I think maybe a year, 2 years, and then whatever spike you really got is just going to sink, because now you got all these companies not carrying your pillow.
Yes, true. I'm kind of curious about the pillow though.
It's just, apparently, according to people I've read, it's just cut up pieces of foam.
And it's so okay. Well, you hear about this cube. Have you seen the ads for like the cube pillow?
No, I haven't.
It's like it's it's a cube. Well, I think it's a cube. And like they're saying, like when you sleep in, you're supposed to. It helps with that neck, shoulder,
So you
L,
sleep on
whatever,
your
in that
side.
90 degrees. You're supposed to like sleep like that. But then I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But then like, what if you like sleep on like your back? What if you're a back sleeper?
I sleep on I go to sleep on my side, but then I roll to my back. That's just how it is.
Yeah, like that would be painful if you had like a square pillow and you'd sleep on your back. You'd be
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
like this.
You're like this.
Yeah,
You're like this right
yeah.
here.
Like you would break your neck trying to go to sleep. Damn, they didn't think
Not
this
being
through.
able you couldn't breathe or anything. You're like,
Yeah,
this is a comfortable pillow though.
yeah. It's like the development staff is like, okay, we got the left side. If they sleep on the left side, they're good. Okay, sleep on the right side. Okay, sleep on the face. Okay, nobody sleeps on their face. All right, I think we're good. I think we covered all the areas. So like, what about the back? Like, oh shit, we already made 300,000 pillows, man. I don't know. Just make some up.
Now there's a lot of bad products that are still out in the market. So I'm not going to sit here and say that his pillow is bad or good because I don't know. I haven't personally tried it out.
Right.
And
I never remember falling asleep. So it's like I don't know what position I was in. I have an idea, but until I'm recorded, I don't know.
But I think I don't know if all his pillow is cut up pieces of foam or a square piece of foam, somewhat similar. I don't see the comfort in it. It would just be a hot pillow on my neck and face until I fall asleep.
What if like you're never even supposed to sleep with a pillow? What if you're just supposed to sleep like on your arm? Like, what if like we've been doing this shit forever?
I will attest from having to sleep on the ground in foreign places. Our butts were meant to have a pillow. I'm just saying, even that pillow was made from a rock. Our butts were made to have a pillow.
Yeah, but there has to be some type of like natural position that your body is supposed to be sleeping in. Like,
yeah,
because, you're born without the concept of beds and pillows, right?
No, you're not.
Everything else on your body is like
because you're picked up like this. So you got somebody to support your head. The moment you're born, somebody has your head in their hand supporting it. So you already know what a pillow is. It's something to raise your neck.
Maybe you're supposed to sleep on your face. Maybe you're supposed to just lay down on your stomach.
Let your forehead do all the work.
Yeah, and like you
let your forehead and your nose do all the work.
Yeah, and then so you just breathe out of your mouth the whole time. Maybe that's how you're supposed to sleep. It has to be. You can't tell me we were born like the bed was supposed to come with the birth. Like because they got animals, right? Like dogs and cats, they have a natural position. Yeah. Doesn't matter where they're at to fall asleep in. But people
But if you give them an option to be on something soft or to be on a hard tile floor, they get on that soft thing about 7 out of 10 times. Just saying.
Yeah. Maybe that's just like an environmental influence. Like, all right, this is a little bit more comfortable.
But I think cavemen or Neanderthals, whatever you want to call them.
Sleep on rocks.
I think either they got rocks or they found a piece of wood. It's probably a piece of wood because bark might be a little more forgiving.
I don't know, man. I gotta go with the sleeping on their face because you remember. You ever see like the Neanderthal, like where they always show like the skull is like different,
really huge? Like, it's big, and
that's because they had to sleep on
the face is kind of sunk in. You might, oh my god, you might be onto something. Oh my god!
All right, I'm about to do some research and figure out like why don't we just sleep on our faces? Because and then your eyes are already looking down at the ground, so there's no need for there's nothing to look at, so you go to sleep faster. Oh shit. I'm gonna put that on Wikipedia. Man. Humans are supposed to sleep on their big ass noses and faces. Your nose is actually a doorstop for the ground.
And once it's on Wikipedia, it's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Wikipedia, true to you. That's what it should be called. It's the truth, baby. It's the truth.
Once you put it there, it's true.
Oh man.
But yeah,
that's I got
one more thing before we move on to Florida. So in the interest of time, we're gonna won't too much time on this, but it's worth mentioning since we're just talking about credit and money and all that stuff. So GameStop, the store that we all used to go to, but now that we all buy our games digitally, no one really goes to anymore.
I hate GameStop.
Yeah. They used to give you so little money for so many games.
Yeah.
So many.
After you just bought it, you could buy a game and then literally turn around and be like, yeah, I changed my mind. And like, all right, we can give you $2 store credit. Like what? I literally just bought this game for $60.
Exactly. That's exactly how they did. Here's $5 on the game you just spent $75 on. Here's your 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they would do. But so apparently, GameStop stock price was not necessarily bottomed out, but it wasn't like the highest stock out there. It wasn't
right.
like a Capital One or a Google or stock, whatever.
Right.
But apparently, some members on Reddit decided they wanted that to change, and they decided to buy not out, but they decided to aggressively buy GameStop market stock. And they sent the stock surging 5,400%, which means if you basically put in $50, you came out of that thing with about 500 and something bucks.
No, you made a lot of money on GameStop, but like, yeah. I was looking at my I think my buddy did. He bought some. He don't even know the shit about the stock market really. Like he's new. He's new. Not saying shit he does, but like brand new. And yeah, man, he came up. He made a couple, I think like 13, 14, 1,500 on it. And I luckily, and I don't know shit either, but like, I kind of told him like, yo, make sure you sell it by the end of the day or put some type of like automatic sell, because I'm a rookie. I don't know too much, but I would tell you this, any type of extreme volatility like that unless it's stay away from it. It's just if anything goes up too high, too fast, or too down too fast, like something is going on. And just like you just mentioned, something was going on.
And that's exactly what happened. So they didn't do it just because they love GameStop. They did it because they wanted to mess with people on Wall Street. They wanted to take people on Wall Street's money. So they inflated the stock, which it's not illegal. Even though they came together and did it, it's not illegal. I mean, it's a legal thing. And they inflated the stock to the point where rich Wall Street people were buying the stock now that the stock is rising. Without even doing any research, which kind of tells me a little something about like maybe I should start watching some random stocks just in case, because GameStop.
That is exactly like just they call it FOMO, man. That fear of missing out. Like, we know about GameStop. I know about GameStop, and no way in hell.
There's no way I was buying
doing
GameStop
good.
stock.
No.
Unless GameStop came out with their own game system that played every game out there imaginable. That'd be the only way I could see a 5,400% spike on the GameStop.
And a lot of times, and they don't know nothing about, like I said, the company that we do. And I just saw it and I was just like, this is definitely some bull cockery going on, right?
I saw it as it was trending, as the stock was, because it was trending before it bottomed out. So I saw it was trending. I went to my Charles Schwab app to see what was going on. And I saw it. I'm like, I am not buying it. Something said if I bought that, then I would lose more money, because I wouldn't sell it by the end of the day. I would probably wait to the next day because I would forget about it. Not because I didn't want to sell it, but just because you forget things. I would have been one of those suckers who my money would have got taken, and all of a sudden I'm now negative in their stock price. So
wow. Guess where it's at right now?
Where is it at? Don't say it's $13.
No, it went up. It's $225 right now.
Really? It's still doing pretty good. Not great. But it used to be in like less than $100.
So check this out. January 20th, it was at $1.32. No, I'm sorry. No, January 20th, it was at $38. And now it's at $225, $223. Like,
oh my God. And here's the thing, here's the kicker about it, right? So he's at $223. Because all those people did this nice little, call it a scheme, nice little, not even gonna call it a scheme, this nice exercise in stock. Because the real rich ones who bought into it, who heavily invested into it, and pretty much got used, they aren't going to just pull back out immediately. They're going to hold that money in there for a little while to try and recoup some of their money back. So they're going to wait for that stock price to go up or go down before they sell. Now, granted, it's going to do nothing but go down because no one's really going to buy. Who is going to buy GameStop stock for $200 and something?
Nobody.
It's not.
It's going to tank. I know it's going to tank. And when it does, I'm going to take advantage of it tanking. I'm going to try to take advantage of it tanking if I can. But it's, yeah, man, this is, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching GameStop.
No,
it's too much uncertainty.
As it is.
Listen, I know they say scared money don't make money, and I agree with that 100%. But you know, stupid is what stupid does. So stupid is.
And a fool with money is soon separated. I think
I got one more. And a rabbit with a hat is been tricked before. I don't know. Oh man, that's crazy, man.
The tortoise beat the hare. Remember that.
I would say this. I'm happy for the people that did make money off of it, but like I said, man, I got like a plan in place I got to stick to, and I can't touch that. It gotta kill me.
Yeah, it's like I have a stock kind of idea as well. So it's touching something that isn't even in my portfolio that I'm trying to build. It's crazy in itself, and then to buy something that I know firsthand about.
Firsthand, you can go after this. You could drive to a GameStop and be like, "What's changed?" And they'd be like, "Nothing." They'd be like, "We don't even know what's going on. Like nothing's changed. All of a sudden, we just worth more, or people we're not worth more, but people believe in us."
Do you think the CEO sold a lot of his stock during that ordeal? If he was a smart CEO, I would have sold quite a bit of it. I probably would have sold rid of it. Like, all right, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, I'm still CEO at the end of the day, but I'm also smart about my money. So even though I have all the stock, it's never going to see this again. So bye.
Yeah, you know, it's oh man,
it's never going to get back up.
I'll say this. I'm happy that, you know, I mean, everybody keeps saying like, oh, a crash is coming. Oh, the market's in the bubble is going to pop. Blah, 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 all this baloney. I'm just happy that things are green and are going up and up. I mean, yes, it can't be up forever. There's always going to be a down. It's going to be a down, but hopefully the downs are small and the ups are big. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
we got a lot of down to recover from last year. So
right, exactly, man. We're in a pandemic right now. I forgot. Yeah. You forget sometimes, like,
oh, I don't forget because
we still in the pandemic. I thought that was last year.
I haven't forgotten because my whole entire not just life but scenery is basically my house.
Yeah, same here. You know? I think even if it wasn't a pandemic, I would still be in this room. Like, like I wouldn't go outside more. I think
I would, because I've been to like some festivals, you know, some dinners, you know, a few bars. You know, I would have found a local bar here by now, because I haven't even found, you know, how when I live someplace, you know, I don't drink very often anymore. I still like to have a local spot I can go to that says, okay, this is a spot that if I want to drink, no matter what, I come here. You know, and of course I'm gonna go other places, but if I'm like just by my house, I just gotta get out of the house for a little bit. Nothing big. Right. Boom.
I have a friend that works at I forgot the name of the place, but it's near where you live. So I'll shoot you a text and kind of see the name of it a little bit here.
But I haven't even gotten out to do that, and that's like, you know, there's certain things that you do when you first move to a place. That's like in my top 10, and it hasn't been done yet.
Explore.
But that's one of my favorite words. I'm worried about going to that bar, because every picture I've seen for people going out, and granted, we had the same picture even though we were wearing masks. But every picture I see for people going out is nobody has a mask on, and I'm not trying to get sick. And that's my biggest worry, is that I'm not trying to get sick.
Well, you know, it ain't going nowhere soon.
Well, no, actually, here's a caveat for me, because I am a veteran and I'm a retiree, mainly because I'm a retiree. I am already getting close to being on the list to getting my shot from the base.
Is that a separate list?
Separate list. Yeah,
y'all probably got the good stuff too.
No, it's probably the generic crap.
Generic watered down, like,
yeah,
it's free. What you expect?
But you know, because I served, you know, just a nice little Thank you, which I will
Mhm.
gladly accept because I'm trying to get out of this house.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get vaccinated. I should. Well, I don't know if I should. If I've
But I
already had it,
struggle with it.
if I've already had it, do I have to get vaccinated?
Yeah, everyone says you should. They're
You
like
should.
all the medical people say you still should get it
Or I can just
because
get
the
all the
antibodies only
different
last for so many months, and then
Okay.
you're back at it. You know,
How come
me,
like my
I'm
how come
worried
I
about.
can't like mentally tell my antibodies like, yo, you just don't
Yeah,
hold
stay
back.
there. Yeah,
Stay there. Like you know it.
I
You
like you.
mentally know it,
You
but
can be
why
a
can't
part of me from here on out.
yeah. I always wonder why you can't talk to your body like that. You know? Hey,
Uh,
antibodies, the brain says this is still a thing. So, do what you was doing, but better and more. And antibodies respond like, well, we can do it, but you're gonna be sleepy as shit for the next 6 months. It's like, damn.
I will say this, and our audience get to hear. I will say this that I am concerned about the long-term effects of the vaccine. The short-term
Okay.
effects, we already know there's no real short-term effects.
Right.
But the long term, no one knows because no one's had it anywhere long term. No one's had it, even had the cure the vaccine for even a year. So we
Mhm.
don't know, even though it's a antibody it's a virologic, so it's not gonna stay in your system for
Right.
forever. It's still gonna be in there and it's still gonna make changes into your system that we don't know the long-term effects from. And that's my biggest worry is the long-term effects. But at the same time, I want to live life. So
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be long-term effects of something, at the end of
yeah.
the day. It's just I mean, there's
And
a
seeing
lot of other things. I mean, I think it's
I
just
saw this.
because
I
we
saw this
know about
older
it.
black lady. I saw this older black lady on TV get her shot,
Uh-huh.
and she said, "Oh, I don't mess around with vaccines, honey. I'm getting my vaccines." And when she said that, that meant a lot because here's this old lady, old black woman, and you know
Uh-huh.
how us black people are when it comes to vaccines. We don't trust them. I don't trust all of them.
I'm not sticking
Even though
anybody.
even though I've had all of them because I was in the military, I don't trust all of them. It's just one of those things. But seeing
Right.
this older black woman get it, I'm like, you know
If she can
what?
get it, I
She
can
can
do it.
do it. Yeah,
I
that's
can
how it
do it.
was. Yeah,
That's what it's gonna take, man. It's gonna take people who others admire or influential to do something for, people who are on the fence about doing it to do it.
yeah,
Like if
it's true.
if I say this, okay, how many basketball players would take the vaccine if LeBron James was like, I took the vaccine.
Oh my god.
LeBron took it. I mean, LeBron took it, so I guess I could take it.
That's 90% of the that's 90%
Yeah.
of the league right there.
Yeah. Or like if I don't know. I'm sure Tom Hanks already probably took it, right?
Oh, I'm sure
He
he
was he
did.
was one of the first. You know what's crazy? Remember, he was one of the first celebrities
To
to
get
come
it
out and be like, I
when he
was
was in
infected with
Australia,
COVID.
I think. I think he was
Yeah,
in
like he was.
Australia or something like
It's
that.
like when he announced he was infected, then everybody started taking it more serious for some reason.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
Tom Hanks got it. This is real.
It exists.
It can get Tom Hanks. Like, damn, this thing is it's for
which
real. Like,
which I
of course
found
it
kind
is.
of which I found kind of funny is that, like you said, Tom Hanks was the first one to get it, was the first one to speak out about having it as a celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
and was also the one who hosted the inauguration ball party thing on
Yeah,
TV for 3 hours the other night
yeah,
for the inauguration.
yep.
Tom
And then
Hanks
like
is
more,
everywhere.
yeah, and it's like, isn't it crazy how like just being a fan of Tom Brady, or I said Tom Brady of Tom Hanks, or
Tom
like
Hanks,
just trust of Tom Hanks can like, dictate whether someone like takes something serious or not. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure there were a lot of people, and I don't have a number for it, that took the virus more seriously just because Tom Hanks said he had caught the virus, right?
yeah.
Like Tom Hanks is now responsible for I'm sure a certain amount of people whether they live or die.
He
you
is.
know,
He really is.
like and like I think about how many people he saved probably.
Yeah,
That took it more serious afterwards. So
yeah.
it's just crazy. I know we always speak about like celebrities and how like I don't understand why people like follow them so much, but they do have a lot of freaking power. Like if
Yeah,
somebody
they
if
do.
somebody trusts and like you, they would do damn near anything for you.
Yeah.
So
Look at all. I mean, look at all those TikTok OnlyFans things. Once you have a following, that
yeah,
following is yours.
yeah. I
You
mean,
got
and
these girls, young ladies, who are receiving massive amounts of gifts and
mhm,
money, but massive amounts of gifts
mhm.
from Amazon or whatever, from all these different
Amazon
people.
wish list, a
Amazon,
wish
Amazon
list.
wish list, and they don't know. any of these persons, I mean, never met them personally,
Never met
have
them.
no intention at all to
Never
ever
even
meet these
talked to
people.
them. Them never talking to the person.
And they're receiving massive amounts of gifts. I mean, that's how influential just having a following is.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, and once they support, like you would have to do some egregious for them not to support you anymore. Like even like, like I mean, even on the big scale, like with Trump and stuff, like look how willing and ready his followers are to do something crazy. Because once you are like a hardcore follower, like you got to realize that you can no longer like question the things the person you follow do. And that's like, they would have to be so extreme, like maybe kill one of your parents to where you'd be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't like this person. And even then, some people would still be on the fence.
I mean, people think about it now. The whole Trump pandemic thing. You know, he lost, and instead of people moving on, like what normally happens in elections, they literally are latched onto this guy that they stormed our Capitol.
Yeah.
There's over 150 arrests so far of the Capitol riot. Over 150 people. And in that group, we've got lawyers, we have not mayors, but we have public servants,
who make decisions, who are like have important positions, you know, in their respected cities. And
they storm the Capitol.
It's crazy,
but
it's
all because they followed what this guy said, even though he didn't think the truth was out there for them to find. And instead of finding the truth, they listened to somebody.
You know, it's funny. I was watching, me and Paige was watching. Well, she fell asleep. I was basically watching the Mad Max. You remember that movie with Tom Hardy?
Yeah, I actually been wanting to watch it. I haven't seen it in so long, but it's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I seen it. Well, this is my second time. I seen it in theaters the first time. Yeah. But and it was a character in there, and he was one of the like the skinhead looking dudes. Whatever. One of the I mean, he wasn't the main character, but he played a huge role. But anyway, like they're really big with like loyalty and like sacrifice for the greater good, for their king or whoever the hell their leader was. Yeah. And like, you know, one of the scenes, the guy was like, it was like a search party, or they're hunting, trying to catch up with the guy, you know, whoever they were trying to kill. And the guy, the evil guy, the leader, was part of the search party, and he had made like eye contact with one of the minions, and the dude went like, "Oh my god, oh, he looked at me, he acknowledged me, and I would do anything, like ready to die for this dude." You know what? Don't even know. The guy just kind of looks at him like, and that was enough to make him, you know, pretty much put his life on the line in it. And that was January. I know it was a movie. Yeah, I know it was just a movie, but you know, you can kind of translate that to the stuff that we see now. It's like these people never even met, you know, Trump or the president or whoever. It doesn't necessarily have to be Trump. It could be, you know, any type of high figure who's, you know, you're so loyal to these people you've never met, they don't even know you. They don't even.
But no one has committed an action more than the people who follow Trump. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think that's a scary thing, because there was just so many people, and it was just like, you know, it's one thing when you have these like radical, you know, groups and organizations where like they got people, but you know, not like on a scale of, you know, the United States, you know, the president or something like that.
Yeah,
right. So it's just, I don't know. It was crazy, and the fact that, you know, now, since, you know, the election's over and, you know, everything's been kind of signed and certified, now I kind of wonder, do these people just go back in the public and act like that they never was a part of that, or it didn't happen, type of deal?
There's a small, I'm not gonna call them small, but there's a group in the Republican Party who's still trying to push the Trump agenda, the not necessarily the agenda, but the same rhetoric, which is the radical left. You know, they're trying to steal things, blah blah. There's a group of Republicans that are still trying to push that. Now you have another group of Republicans who are pushing back against all that BS. So right now, the Republican Party is split between Trump's party and the Republican Party,
which doesn't, and now nothing's gonna get done. You know, that's even worse
on that side. Yeah, because now they don't even agree with each other.
Yeah.
So,
and what happens is, you know, with all that, most people don't have trust in any party. You know,
That's
like
true.
you don't know who to believe, and I mean, you shouldn't have to like believe
I'm not a
anybody.
party person. I
I'm
know
not
you're not a
either.
party person either.
No, it's too much. It's too much to keep track of. It's too many people. It's
Yeah,
too many moving parts to where like I can't just be like, oh, I support everything you do. No, I don't.
yeah,
I have a
yeah,
support a little bit of that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like variety. I don't.
yeah,
uh, Yeah, but when it comes to the political stage, like you just got to pick a side. If you're up there, if you're
yeah.
you're in government or you're maybe
Well, no,
you work
there's
at
two
a convention or something.
senators or who are independent. They are not
Mhm,
in either party.
mhm,
But here's the kicker: they are independent, but they vote more Democrat than they do
mhm.
Republican. And
Okay.
they even are a part of the Democrat caucus versus the Republican caucus.
Okay.
But they will tell you, they will tell the Speaker of the House, they will tell everybody, if the Republicans come up with a good idea, I'm going to vote
We'll go
Republican.
with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it basically saying whoever pays more, they're gonna go with them. Oh
pretty
shit, did I
much.
say that? I mean, say whatever. Oh fuck. Delete
Pretty
that.
much.
Delete that.
You're
Delete
right with the first.
whoever pays more. I mean, it's all about it comes down to. I mean, money plays a huge role, and
Yeah.
hey, if I'm Joe Blow and I got $1 billion company, and you taxing my ass, like, hey man, how about I just donate like I don't know what 10 million? That sound good? 10 million to your
Hmm.
fund, and we just
And you
we
vote for
forget
the
about the whole
R's.
tax situation, all
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
that's how it works.
That is. That is. But with that being said, are you ready for what the Florida?
I am ready for what the Florida. I'm ready. Born and
Alrighty.
raised.
Got some good ones for you today. One that did not make the
Original cut.
the cut, but I'm going to
Okay.
go ahead and say it now because it was incredibly funny. Is we have one Florida man was arrested for having sex with a pit bull, with his pit bull.
Wait, he got arrested for that?
Yeah, oh
He
yeah,
had sex with his pit bull?
with his pit bull.
Is that illegal? What's it called? Bestiality? Is that illegal?
Bestiality, yeah, yeah. It is illegal,
Hmm.
very illegal.
Well, I guess if you
Which
own
is,
the
you know
pit
what's
bull.
funny? It's illegal now, but when I was like, I'm gonna say my young 20s, it was
Mhm.
not illegal. It's only became illegal within like the last 20 years.
PETA put that in place probably. That's animal abuse, I think.
Yeah.
I don't,
Oh
I
my
don't know how that
god.
works.
Oh my god. I personally thought, I'm like,
Is
he
that your
had sex with a
dog?
pit bull. How the hell did the dog not turn around and immediately bite his ass upon
Yeah. Unless
I
the dog
mean,
is the one is the aggressor in the situation.
we
I don't know. You've seen dogs
don't
hump people's legs.
we
I don't
don't
know.
we
I don't
don't
know.
know. You're right.
Dogs are
That
tricky.
makes a point. That's
Yeah,
that's a
that's the
good
man's
point.
best friend. Mm-hmm. See,
That's a good point.
I wonder how they got that name.
Uh,
You think dogs say dog's best friend to other dogs when they have a human? They have like their own little secret society where they just talk shit about humans. Like, oh god, my human's so stupid. He literally picks up my poop every single time. It's so weird.
Yeah. It's like it's already in the dirt. I even buried it for him, and he
I
still
even
gets it.
buried it, and he still like I can smell it on his fingers afterwards. I wish I could tell him, but he doesn't speak language. So,
He thinks that plastic protects his hand, but
jeez,
no.
Florida man, it's more like a Florida dog.
Oh God. Oh my God. But yeah, that one didn't make the cut, but it did deserve an honorable mention because yeah, you wrong for that.
Jeez.
Anyway, first story. Sheriff report. Naked
Okay.
Florida man stole crashed police car.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
that sounds like a when
Mm.
you say stole a police car, I had a
And go ahead.
not a buddy. I remember in high school, there was this guy who was on our track team. He's real cool. Well, he was like the bad boy, like always getting kicked out of school type deal. But he was fast as
Yeah.
hell. Probably,
Mm.
well, I don't know if that goes hand in hand, but I remember one time we had a track meet. He didn't show. Turns out he s- got like a DU. He was drunk driving, crashed his car, and then it's kind of hazy story, but crashed his car. Cops came and he
Mhm.
stole the police lady's car. I think so. I think that's what happened. I don't know if he got in.
Oh,
Well, he probably got in trouble, but
oh, I'm sure he got in trouble.
he made
Yeah.
it to like a couple track meets after that. So I don't know. Anyway, continue. Florida man,
Oh,
naked
that's
dude.
funny. So, a naked Florida man stole what news footage showed to be a marked police vehicle and crashed it in a wooded area. Officials said, I did not catch the video, but I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm going to find it because I do want to see this.
Are you a failure as a police officer if a suspect steals your police car?
I'm not going to say so much as a failure, but you failed that day. That day, you're definitely a failure for that day.
I mean, because like I've heard stories about people stealing police cars, and it's like I guess that could happen. You know, you get out your car because most times in situation, cops I doubt they lock their doors. You know what I mean? Get out the car, grab a gun, go investigate whatever the situation is, and then I can kind of see somebody just sneaking up and opening the doors, and taking the car. I mean, it's not like it's a different drive.
No keys. Normally, there's no keys in the car.
Nah, I feel like they always leave it on.
They do, but there's no key in it. Like it's a keyless whatever.
Oh well, yeah, like the new ones, like the Chargers, but like the old what are they, Buicks? What are they?
No, the old the Ford,
the Crown Vics. Yeah. I'm sure you gotta put keys in those.
Yeah, you do, and I'm sure it happened a lot more then than it's going to now, but it still happen.
Well, because they have the computer, the computer in the car, and they're looking stuff up. Like, does their car have to be on for their computer to be on?
Yes, it does.
So that's probably why they leave the car on.
Yeah.
When they
Plus,
not that I was still a police car.
If you think about it though, if you have to get in and out of your car 3 times an hour, every hour for 8 to 12 for 12 hours a day, you're probably going to want to leave it unlocked anyway, and then start it, because then you're going all day long. You're starting the car,
and I guess you can always be like, who's stupid enough to steal a police car? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that kind of goes to your head, because they would just track it and find you.
Yeah, because when they came out with LoJack, the first companies that had LoJack was probably every single police department in the U.S.
Oh yeah,
just
turn that shit off immediately.
Yeah, they're like, LoJack, yeah, we'll take you.
remember that show, The Sting, where I forgot the name. I forgot the title of the show, but like they were like set up cars or like items to be stolen. Like they like plant like a nice car. Bait car, yeah. Like how fucked up was that? They would plant
that was a fucked up show.
They would plant like these, cars that typically wouldn't be driven around in certain, like, we'll say
certain areas,
impoverished neighborhoods. Yeah, we'll say that.
Doors wide open.
Like leave the door open on purpose. Like literally pull up to like some 8 guys on a corner.
Yeah. You there?
Oh shit! Did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze for a second.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here now. Yeah, I thought. Oh, my internet connection. Oh my god, that's the first time I ever saw my internet connection is unstable. I'm tripping. But anyway, they pull up in these neighborhoods in front of 5 or 6 teenagers, I will say, at like 2:00 in the morning, and it'd be some like young white girl in a nice Mercedes, and she gets out and goes inside a house or store and leaves the door wide open with the keys on, a brand new car. And it's just like,
and she doesn't come back for hours. By the way, this isn't like a few minutes thing. The person, the officer, but the sting person is gone for at least 3 to 5 hours at every location they drop the car.
Yeah, with the door wide open, and it's like they literally put temptation in these people's lives just to take it. Like that's so just fucked up. Like
how is that?
They probably wouldn't have done that. Yeah, here's $1 million. I'm just gonna throw on the ground right next to you. Dropped out of my pocket, and you're poor shit, and there's a camera there just waiting for you to grab it so they can just bust you. Like they literally just want you to take you to jail at that point.
I remember this one episode, and then we'll get back to Florida, but I remember this one episode where a guy, it was nighttime. The guy called, I think it was a Camaro. The guy, this one black guy, he kept walking by the car, and he was standing at this, there was a convenience store outside on Main Street. But he was standing at the convenience store, and that's where they parked the car, like a little bit down to the convenience store. And the guy being there already knew that the person was just gone. So what he does is he gets in the car, and this is one of the only time, I probably believe some other stories too, but this is one of the only times I can really remember I believed. Mm-hmm. He gets in the car, and instead of getting in, doing all the crazy stuff, and then taking off like they normally do, he gets in the car, he starts to look around, and then he gets out of the car, walks around the car again, opens up the doors, looks around, closes the doors, gets in the car, takes the car and takes an immediate right, and then a right again, and then another right, and comes back to in front of the convenience store. And he did that one more time. That's when they picked him up the second time. And he's like, and he said, "No, I'm trying to find a place to park this car. It's on the main street with the door wide open. Someone's going to steal this car. I'm trying to find a place off this main street to park the car." And he never left that little area. Like he just went right around the block to come right back to where he started off at.
Right.
That's one of the few times I can honestly say I might believe this guy.
Yeah. Like
he could have took off.
I watched longer. And some people are like good Samaritans like that, to where like you would think like, well, I don't know, like, but some people are almost too nice to where it almost seems like that wasn't their intentions in the first place. I mean, I probably wouldn't have did that. I would have shut the door. Yeah, I would shut the door, kept walking.
Yeah, that's what.
But then again, I don't know if I would shut the door, because what if it locks and then maybe they left it open for a reason.
That's on them. I'm shutting the door. I'm sorry. Yeah. I had a neighbor who left their doors open for, and middle of the night, because you know me, I don't ever sleep. So I'm out there 2:00 in the morning. I see a car door wide open. I'm like, what? And I've seen this before. I'm like, I go walk myself over there. Let me shut this door, because that's not right.
Right.
Anyway,
because my thoughts would be, if the door's open, either they're probably in a rush and forgot to shut it.
Yeah, so. That's my thought. Back to what Florida. Anyway, so a naked Florida man stole what news footage showed to be a marked police vehicle and crashed it in a wooded area. Officials said Joshua Schenker, Shenker, We're gonna call him Shenker. 22, was arrested after Thursday's crash on charges including theft of a motor vehicle, aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, depriving an officer of means of communication or protection, and resisting an officer without violence. Wait. How did he get aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer and then also resisting an officer without violence? That doesn't make sense.
What did he just say? No? I don't know. You're resisting. Then you got into a fight.
That's according to the sheriff's office report. Officers responded to reports of a naked man running along interstate, won't say, shortly before noon Thursday. Schenker was lying in the roadway when an officer stopped on the opposite side of the route, the report said. Schenker then ran across the highway lanes toward the officer, officials said. The redacted report didn't say how Schenker stole the vehicle. Of course, they're not going to leave that part in there.
Yeah, authorities. The officer didn't do his job correctly, and our vehicle got stolen. No, I don't know. He just appeared in the car.
Yeah, authorities confirmed only that a vehicle belonging to the city was stolen. Footage of the scene showed the crashed vehicle to be a marked patrol car. According to the police report, about $10,000 worth of damage was done to the vehicle.
Yeah, that's excessive. That's like when they max it out.
Yeah,
how much damage? Well, I mean, there was a little scratch on here that has no relation to the accident, but we can replace your whole trunk. We're gonna have to replace your whole trunk. So like, okay.
Officers noticed Schenker had road rash after the crash, and he was taken to a hospital to be checked out. Authorities said
because he's butt ass naked. Anything you fall butt naked, doesn't matter where you at. You go get some type of cut or bruise or rash.
I would almost pay this guy's bail just to interview him, because his bail is not that much. Let me tell you, how much you think his bail is? Wild guess.
I don't know. Maybe
remember take the 10% rule. 10% rule. So how much do you think his
probably
bail is?
Maybe like 5,000.
You were closer with the second guess. You're the 5,000. His bail is $4,011.
$11.
$40 gets his butt out of jail.
Why is he? Man, why is? I don't know.
Is it 40 or is it 400? But either way, it's not a lot.
Yeah, but he must be like friends with the cop. Like he must like his dad might be the sheriff, and like, man, your son out here again acting wild. Like, I mean, should I shoot him? Should I arrest him? Like, no, don't touch him. Like, well, he's trying to steal my car. Like, just let him take it. Right? Well, he does this all the time. He sleep steals. The sleep stealer. That's why we call him Shanker, because he shanks and steals and sleeps. Oh man! All right, what we got?
That's story one.
So number 3.
So now that's story number 1. We haven't even done story number 2 yet. Story number 2: Feds arrest Proud Boy Joe Biggs for entering U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Now that's not much of a story, but here's the story part. One of the Proud Boys leader, Joe Biggs, of unincorporated county in Florida, was arrested Wednesday on charges related to storming the U.S. Capitol building on January 6th. On Wednesday afternoon, FBI agents were combing through Biggs' home on Camino Circle, as well as a white Toyota truck parked in the driveway. The home has a beach zip code. The video originally posted on Parler, on Parler and published Sunday as part of a ProPublica investigative project, shows Biggs, one of the Proud Boys leaders, who, by the way, was announced today as being a terrorist organization according to Canada.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
Hey,
according to Drake and crew.
Hey, Canada did it. I'm sure we're gonna do it too. Wearing a gray and black check jacket and dark ski cap as he enters the building with a mob of riders through a broken glass door. On the back of his truck, he's got a Patriots symbol, airborne symbols, which means he was part of the military. So thank you for that, you dumbass.
Like, how can
RWDS, Killery, and a bunch of other, this stupid stickers. A person near the camera, perhaps the videographer, calls out 1776 this is our podcast, motherfuckers, before saying, Biggs, what do you got to say? Big lowers his face mask, smiles, and says, this is awesome.
I mean, I don't know, man. This I haven't played video games too much and watch movies too much. Like, you think it's gonna be some glorious, revolution, happy ending, we've overcame adversity scenario, and it's no, man. It's they take you to jail, and then people forget, and then you're still there.
Like literally, once I see, because I'm intrigued by this, and then I move on. I'm intrigued by the insurgency and by the arrests that follow, because I want them to catch all those people who did that. Because once you did it once and you get away with it, you're now emboldened to do it again.
Yeah,
it's just how people who rob banks, once they get away with the first one, I got away with it, I'm gonna rob another one.
And even the sadder part is the stories they'll tell. Like, say if you were one of the rioters at the Capitol.
I don't call them rioters. I'm calling them insurrections.
And so whatever they are. Say you were there and you was part of the whole shebang, and 50 years from now, you tell your kids, I was part of when we stormed the Capitol, and it was crazy and fireworks were going off, and how you'll spruce up that bullshit, that story, and now you got another generation of a fantasy fighters is what they should be called, fantasy fighters, just believing in something that ain't what it was and ain't what it will be. So I don't know, it's a lot of poppycock, but with the state of the world, things go so, besides this pandemic, which takes forever, but things move so fast. Like, today's news is history the moment tomorrow. You forget about it. Yeah. That's the sad thing. Like, say, next time we'll remember the Capitol. What'd you call it again?
Insurrection.
I like that word. The Capitol insurrection. But next time I remember that it'll be the end of next year or this year when we do like a 2021 rewind. Like,
I don't think it'll be that long. I think
you don't think so?
I think the next the domestic terrorist attempted attack. I'm not gonna say attack. The next terrorist attempted attack, it'll come back up again. So 5 months.
Yeah, somebody to blame. Somebody to blame. All right. I'm ready. Damn.
All right. So that's story 2.
What was I thought that was story 3.
No, this is story 3. I like this one. Story 1 was the naked Florida man who stole the police car.
What the hell was I talking about? Story 1. I thought, I must be losing my mind. All right, fair enough. I don't know why I thought. Maybe I was just talking about something else.
All right, this is a good one. This is a good one. And I'm enjoying reading this one. Florida woman runs brothel called the Fungian.
Yeah. I've been there.
out of mansion in gated community. And by the way, this house is beautiful. I mean, wow.
It's called the Fungian.
The Fungian, basically dungeon, but instead of dungeon, it's Fungian. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's clever.
So, suspect charged with maintaining home for prostitution, running illegal adult business.
Oh, it's a whorehouse called the Fungian.
Yeah. It's a luxury home in a gated community, in a gated country club, complete with a sparkling pool and nestled between $1 million properties that back up to a golf course. So that means these are not cheap clients by no means.
So it sounds like an Illuminati birthday party.
Pretty much, pretty much. But according to the sheriff's office, this glamorous home on Deerwood Country Club was being used as a brothel. It speaks to the point of this. It speaks to the point of this could happen anywhere, said Mike Bruno, the director of investigations. No neighborhood is immune from it. No one is immune from it. Police have been getting tips from concerned neighbors, as at the news station.
A lot of escorts in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah. Research of the address shows Anna Domino, 50, was living there and renting the well-kept property. A social media account lists her name as, guess what? Madam D.
Madam D.
Madam D.
See, it's all a movie, man.
Yeah. Her group
stuff is just a movie.
Her group was listed as, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The quartet.
Her group was listed as the Prostate Queens.
Prostate Queens.
The Prostate Queens. There were numerous online accounts with sexually explicit videos, some that appeared to include the high-end home on Grove Road, which he refers to online as the Fungin. The home showed up on a real estate site with the rent listed at, oh, that's actually not bad. Guess how much the rent was?
$1,500.
$4,000 a month.
It's not bad. How many bedrooms?
It's an actual mansion. $4,000 a month. I mean, I might try to risk. I might risk running a brothel for $4,000 a month. I mean,
yeah, I mean, gated community. I mean, it should be.
You made that your first day. Yeah.
Sounds like what was that movie with Ben Stiller? Was it Ben Stiller?
Oh, with Meet the Fockers or whatever.
Nah, it's like an alien movie. It was stupid.
Oh.
It was like Ben Stiller. I don't know if it wasn't Will Ferrell. It was what's the guy from Vince Vaughn and I don't know. It was like an alien invasion. But anyway, he thought his neighbor was an alien because he always had like people over it. It was like real weird, but it turned out to be like one of like those sex houses. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I do remember that movie.
Yeah,
okay.
I forgot what it was
yeah, I remember that movie now.
And like, the security guard was like part of the crew.
They're all basically
found an alien
house. Yeah, they're not. They're all basically like house dads. You know, not house.
Yeah,
dads,
and they were like, it was like a neighborhood watch. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, neighborhood watch. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that movie.
Oh man, that was funny.
Detectives arrested Domino and another woman on Tuesday. Domino is charged with maintaining a home for prostitution, soliciting for prostitution, and running an illegal adult business. The other woman, 41, was also arrested on a charge of soliciting for prostitution. The news station is not naming her because investigators said it's unclear whether she was a victim of human trafficking.
Okay. All right. So first story: naked man running around stealing police cars, possibly the sheriff's son, but don't quote me on that. I'm going to say South Florida.
Going with South Florida for number one. The car. So the car happened in Jacksonville. So that is North Florida.
All right, that's okay. You know.
Yeah.
You sure? You sure it's North? All right.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
All right, number two, the terrorist leader. I'm gonna say I think I know it's Central Florida, right? I thought he was like near Orlando or something.
It is Central Florida. It happened in Tuttle's area in Volusia County.
Yes,
that's where he was arrested.
All right, one for two. And the last one, the whorehouse. Ooh, that's the classy whorehouse.
Yeah, this is gonna be difficult for you. I can tell you that now because it's not. I'm not gonna give you a hint, but it's gonna.
This might be a trick question. This might be a trick. This might be in my backyard. Hold on, let me think. All right, so it's a whorehouse for. Is she how old is the lady?
50.
50. Okay, 50. So.
But one of the prostitutes apparently was 41. Allegedly.
It's a mansion in a gated community. Gated mansion community. I want to say I want to say south, but I feel like that's too obvious. And north is too. I don't feel like there's gated mansion communities up north. I'm gonna say here. I'm gonna go central again.
You're going to go Central.
Mhm.
All right. Well, it happened in Jacksonville. Also north.
See, I you know I should have went north. I had a feeling. I had a feeling it'd be one that's like nowhere. Fuck. 1 for 3. Whatever. Madam prostate.
Oh,
What's her name? Madam prostate. I
Madam
don't know.
D. Madam
Oh,
D, the prostate queen.
the prostate queen, Madam D. Well, Madam D is in jail at the county right now. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Oh
my
man,
goodness.
what a
Well,
day.
well,
What a day.
after learning about Miss Madam D, do you have anything else?
I don't have anything except that Jacksonville turns out to be more wild than South Florida. So if you're planning your next vacation, make sure you check out the Jacksonville Panhandle area. Apparently they get wild up there. Also, quick RIP. It's 1 year anniversary of the King Bryant, Black
Yes,
Mamba.
definitely,
Rest his
definitely.
soul. And yeah, man, that's all I got, man. I'm
All
good.
right. That's all I have. Well, again, RP to Kobe, definitely one of the GOATs. Definitely. So that being
See that
said, this
poster?
is
My picture
this
behind
is the weekly review with Sean and Serak. I am Sean the King Notorious. That
and it's your
is.
boy, and it's your boy Ciroc the Bike.
Thank you for listening.
Deuces.